All right, we're live.
We're live.
Welcome back to another week of Play Harder Radio. Go to Play Harder Radio on Facebook and like our page. We'd appreciate it. It's not that you're arrogant. It's just that you're an arrogant prick.
There we go.
I'm not going to argue with that.
Why don't we just do the show instead of you trying to listen in on what everybody else
Let's
is
get
doing?
this thing going. Yo.
Boom. All right, welcome back to another Play Harder Radio episode at the Break Beach Bar.
This one's starting off like how it's supposed to start off, where there's nobody here, then we get busy. Like last week, it started off really busy.
Yeah, it's...
It was almost uncomfortable. It was almost uncomfortable.
Well, Steve Burton's here now, so I imagine it's going to start to fill up.
Yeah, Steve brings the party.
Brings the party to the hizzy.
I don't like seeing Steve without a hat.
I like seeing him with a cigarette in his mouth and on his phone, all at the same time talking. This is cool. Go ahead and handle your phone call. We can talk later. It's cool. Man, he got me a whole box of, I can't even remember what they are now. What are those
the
cookies?
Pepperidge Farms.
Yeah, those
deal,
Pepperidge Farms.
Milano.
Milanos.
Yeah.
Like, not, I don't mean I mean a case.
I remember when we moved Ryan's bed out of the condo, the one that you were using until you got your new one. And
There was like 14 bags of Milano bags under
As we're
there.
moving the mattress out, he's got all the the Milano holders, man. It was awesome.
Along with,
those things are yummy.
they're really good. But also under there was Jenny's clit cream.
Damn, I didn't
know
even
what
have
you're
the
talking
beep ready.
What? So you like the cookies, huh?
The cookies were good.
Yeah, cold case of them.
I just can't help saying stuff sometimes.
Some
Whole
of these
case
guys
of
out here haven't
cookies.
even located it yet, so they can't even imagine there was a cream
Yeah.
made for it.
Anywho, how was your week?
Let's not talk about it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I had a pretty good week.
Jeez.
Well, you know what? I was in New Orleans for the Super Bowl. My brother was in town from Denver, so we were hanging out there, and Wayne and Dan and I doing Bourbon
I
Street.
should have gone, man. I thought I was gonna stay, and we're gonna be really busy for the Super Bowl, and it wasn't so much.
You were supposed to go, and then you bailed.
No, I never was gonna go. I was.
Yes,
always,
you were.
No, it's always was gonna work.
You said you were going to
Super
go.
Bowl. No, not for the Super Bowl. I knew I wasn't.
Well, you didn't know what you were doing then, evidently.
No, you gave me a date, not the actual. You didn't say, "Hey, we're going Super Bowl weekend." You gave me some dumbass date.
Colorado people in the house. Yeah, I gave you a fucking. I gave you
Dude,
a
you're
date.
lit
That's
up.
true, and you said I'm going.
That's
So
$2 you belong in the
We're not going to talk about it.
slam jar already.
2
minutes
anyway. Right. I hope my nephew's not watching yet.
Yes.
It's earlier there. He's probably at practice or something still.
For what? What does he practice now?
Basketball
This time of
right
year,
now.
is this basketball season.
He's sorry he didn't play hockey though.
I guess there is hockey in Colorado, huh?
They do play hockey in Colorado. Absolutely. He's a great athlete. He's a great little athlete.
Runs in your family, huh?
He's not. Yes. See how fast I answered that.
Yes, of course.
But yeah, so New Orleans was good.
Go get drunk.
Got back on. No, not really. Didn't really drink much.
I always drink a lot when I go there.
That's
I don't
that
know what
city's
else.
for.
What else do you do?
Exactly.
It's not like you're
I
going to
remember
go
going
to.
there with my parents after the San Francisco Denver Super Bowl, like in the late '80s, and I was a kid, so you don't really know what New Orleans is yet. But I had a feeling I was going to be great there one day.
Yeah, that's like the Southern kids Tijuana.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's exactly how it felt. I didn't know what public. I didn't know what urine
think
smelled
so?
like it when it's actually in public. And
Yeah, it's where,
I think most kids go to Tijuana for
underage drinking. The same reason we used to go to New Orleans.
Yeah, I think
Or to
it's
be
more than that in
trafficked.
Tijuana.
Or to be trafficked.
I think they go to Tijuana to get STDs.
No, you're thinking Juarez. There's no donkey shows in TJ.
y'all are brutal.
I didn't say anything about donkeys.
Oh.
Roll Tide.
So y'all got back Monday. You seem kind of chipper, so it wasn't like y'all got all crazy.
Well, I had a counseling session scheduled Monday night, so
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
I needed to
You got to be crisp.
be ready for that. And so Wayne drops me off at his house to get my car, and then I'm bringing you down here for why was I bringing you here?
I can't remember.
I don't know where the van was here or whatever. And there's Wayne's Escalade is in the parking lot at the break
Oh yeah.
on Monday night. And I'm like, damn, dude. I can't keep up with him. I can't keep up with him. In New Orleans.
Wayne likes to party.
In New Orleans, I mean,
I'm gonna take
put
this
me
off.
put me in
Ladies.
the ground.
Yeah, Wayne likes to party, man. We were talking about that last night. He's good. The guy.
I mean, jeez.
But then you
Out
won't
of
see, you
control.
really don't see him for like 3 or 4 days sometimes.
We probably should acknowledge also that I new friend of mine, I guess. I just know him when he comes in town now, but he's one of the boys from Pensacola from way back. Gene Moore is visiting us from Colorado. Pretty exciting for everybody, wasn't it?
Yeah, everybody's doing the.
Yeah, they're doing a shot, so
Doing shots.
they don't even care what we're saying.
Yeah, weren't even excited about it. The announcement.
People probably wondering why I'm wearing Michigan gear today.
Is it because of your amazing recruiting class?
It's
that you
because
brought
of their spectacular recruiting class. Spectacular recruiting class.
It's a crazy how emotional you get about the recruiting class stuff. You were yelling in the condo yesterday. I was blown away.
Well, shut up, Ron. Roll Tide. The Alabama, by the way, I mean, I don't want to spend all the time talking about Michigan. Alabama lost their #1 recruiting class ranking for the first time in 7 years.
And they'll be just fine.
I don't know. Do you think they've got any talent left?
Yeah, maybe. They didn't really need any recruits this year because of the last 7 years. Those guys have been pretty stout.
You know what Michigan's big recruiting day announcement was? They're going to go on a team trip to France after
oui.
spring finals.
Man,
That was their big. That was their big.
Those kids are going to love that over there, because they're really going to not know how to order anything. Like, how do you order anything? Like,
Je
Kobe
voudrais
Bryant could speak like
pas
6.
derrière.
Yeah. Kobe Bryant could speak like 6 languages. These kids.
He could?
Oh, yeah.
I don't believe that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He's known for that forever. Yeah.
I've never heard that.
All right, so here's what I love about Google. I'm going to Google this on air, and I'm going to show it to him, and it'll be awesome.
Yeah, this will be spectacular.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about where do you like to go in New Orleans?
I go to the Aaron Rose, the Alibi, and then I like doing the tourist shit, man. Everybody's got like those sidebars and all, like the Aaron Rose and all that like to go to make it feel more local and stuff. I like doing the stuff that you read about on the internet. Like I like going down Bourbon Street. A lot of people hate that stuff.
So you don't like going to the Aaron Rose?
No, I loved it. I already said I like that, but I also what I really like is the stuff that people always complain about. But the Frenchman's cool. I always say that I'm going to go there for food because I'm a foodie. I mean, I know it doesn't look like it.
I got to. Speaking of food, go ahead.
I'm a foodie.
My girlish figure would lead you to believe otherwise, but I really enjoy food. So I always say I'm going to go over there and go to these crazy restaurants, and I always end up eating a hot dog and drinking way too much. Yeah.
So Pat O'Brien's is one of the landmarks of Bourbon Street. Would you agree?
Yes.
We went in there for lunch on Sunday. We kind of we did breakfast. So we've got a place that we went to a couple times back called the Clover Grill. Yeah, right? The Clover Grill is money. The Clover Grill is money. That's breakfast. If you're going to breakfast, you go to the Clover Grill. So
I've never been up in time to go to breakfast. Actually, I have been up in time to go to breakfast, but it's just because I didn't go to sleep.
Well, they're open all night, too.
That's the point, Joe Daddy.
2 in the morning.
Mr. Wizard.
be nice to, you know what? You know who our most consistent,
What was Jody, Luke's brother?
and now
Man,
it's
now
Joe Daddy.
Joe Daddy. I'm trying.
Yes. Luke, if he can get a ride. But anyway, the Clover Grill, and then we
Fire
went
that
back home
guy.
and chilled for a while, just kind of because we knew the Super Bowl's coming. It's going to be a big night, and so Dan and Wayne wanted to go. I wasn't really that hungry, but they wanted to go eat. So we went to started walking down Bourbon Street looking for places. There's a Bayou Burger or something burger, kind of a sports bar place, but big line to get in there. And so we ended up at Pat O'Brien's. And I had the red beans and rice. Wayne had the trio, which is jambalaya, red beans and rice, and
Gumbo.
gumbo.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sounds amazing.
And Dan had, true to Dan's form of going out on a limb and trying new things, a cheeseburger.
Let's get crazy.
So,
Let's
and
get-
I have
let's
never had more, and we had wings and alligator bites. The alligator bites, I do not know what we were eating.
Yeah, probably.
might have
probably
been-
stingray.
It could have been sponge,
where they
a sponge.
poke
It could,
the wing
it
of
could
a
have been breaded sponge.
Poke the side of a stingray and they fry it.
Here's a good little hidden thing that not too many people have ever heard of that I had last time I was in New Orleans, which was delicious. And I can't remember the name of the little hole in the wall where I got them. But
Large black girl.
It was well, that was afterwards. It was and before. It was fried. We called them gritter tots, but they were basically deep fried grits. They were like balls of cheese grits that were battered and fried, and they were freaking delicious.
That does sound
That
good.
sounds good, but let me tell you what, the alligator bites at Pat O'Brien's are nondescript.
And
What does
fried
that mean?
boudin balls, those are good too.
It means I didn't have any. I mean, it was like I don't know what we were eating.
Oh.
Because I've had Kagan's alligator. Somebody told Wayne that if you're eating alligator and you like it, it's not alligator.
How does it make any sense?
Well, they're saying it sucks.
Kagan's alligator.
Kagan's alligator has to absolutely be alligator. Does he mix anything with it? Oh, he puts pork. Well,
I don't think I've ever had.
so what is it? 1/8. What is it? 1/8 alligator and 7/8 pork butt.
What does it taste like? Is it gamey? Because
No, it's not gamey. It's not gamey. It tastes like chicken, right? It's good. It's good, but
It's the other white
And their
meat.
wings were breaded and horrible, and the red beans and rice was just that was the most blah.
Sounds pretty disappointing.
It was. I don't know. It wasn't like it was bad. It just was not good.
did you have a good trip?
Yeah, we had fun.
Okay, so let's
I'm
get-
just trying to. I mean, but you're
Jesus.
thinking.
How was
Yeah,
the trip?
but you're
It was
thinking.
great.
You're talking about going for the food, and Pat O'Brien's is a destination on Bourbon Street, and it was pretty unenthusing. So you know what? I went back to the Aaron Rose.
Our friend Rudy Ramirez is listening because that dude is texting me like he's got nothing else.
You
to
know
do.
what? He needs to not text. He needs to make his comments on the stream. That's why we have it, Rudy.
Yeah, just
Rudy.
so you guys know, we the live chat is up
Well,
and
he's talking
going.
shit
We can't
about you, so
display
he
it,
can't really
though.
do it on the stream because you would see it.
Oh, is he talking smack about me? Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, let me say this then. Rudy is our friend who opens all the international Buffalo Wild Wings.
That is a cool job, man.
I almost was going to say around the world, but that would be.
It's pretty close.
Well, I said international, all international, so that would kind of encompass.
Around the world it's not PC anymore because of the flat Earth idiots. So you have to be careful.
Hey, there's flat earthers all around the globe.
All around the globe.
Is that just a idiots?
I want to go into
To be-
like Kirkland's where they sell all that shit for your house to make it look like a home. I want to see if they have like a flat Earth globe thing.
Almost every flat Earth video I've
What
seen,
does a
it just-
flat Earth globe look like?
People
Like
just
it's
trying to
flat.
get attention. It's not a globe at all, actually. It's
More looks like a table.
I was just going to say,
Kinda
is
looks
it
like
a
a
table
table.
on a swivel?
where that came from, though, is one of like the leading flat earthers on the web actually like did a post one day, and he said, "Little do you know that there's flat earthers all around the globe." That
Who's
was
that?
his exact quote. I can't remember the guy's name.
Is that Bill Nye,
Yeah, it's probably Bill Nye.
the science guy?
Oh,
Jimmy
come on.
Kimmel.
Bill Nye, the science moron.
I liked him when I
His
was a
ice
kid.
cores say something different than everybody else's ice cores. Bill Nye's an idiot.
Yeah, he didn't even go to school for anything science, did he? Yeah, he's a mechanical engineer.
Yeah.
Aren't you? Is that where you are, Joe Daddy? Yeah. See, Joe Daddy.
And see, but I
Joe Da-
still respect your climatology expertise more than I do Bill Nye's.
Joe Daddy is a mechanical engineer. We need to make him
When did
famous.
science become so political? So ridiculous.
You want to know what? You want to know why? Because
But he invented the internet.
because
It's the series of tubes.
between George H.W. Bush's administration and Bill Clinton's administration, it went from like $400 million in funding or $40 million in funding or something like that to $4 billion in funding. If you agreed with the right things.
Yeah.
So it's all about the money. You can't get your money if you don't agree.
We need to start some shit like that.
Who was it the other day that said he's so pissed that Al Gore came up with that scam before he did?
that would be awesome?
Oh, that was
It was that guy that called that lady out.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a great video. That guy just called.
That-
I don't want to say the language in which he used, but for a guy to be that successful and use that language in a public.
That was in a public forum and everything.
Yeah.
She was not going to let him talk. Is that where it was?
Yeah. And
Well, London.
he iced her. It was awesome.
He iced her?
No, not with a Smirnoff. Oh, let me break out.
If anybody has any questions, you can shoot them to us on Facebook. Kenny will read them to us, and we will
I was just about to bring that up, but you cut me off.
we
man.
will enlighten you.
According
will
to the live chat, we got some viewership in the great state of California, IA. Somebody from San Diego, and I don't know where the other one is from, but they said they're in Cali as well.
Have they identified themselves?
I can tell you who they are because they're
What-
in the
do they
live
have a
chat.
question?
No, don't put their name out there.
They're posting on a
I'm just kidding, man.
No, you weren't.
I can't share the
Chad's
chat
scared.
through the stream because that
Chad's scared.
Facebook is broke. Just
Hey.
letting you guys know.
It is?
Well, I can't. You know, I bring the chat up sometimes intermittently throughout the stream. I
Right.
can't do that now because it's not connecting. The live chat is working. You can see it. I just can't. air it.
Bill Nye could do that.
Is the stream working?
Do I look good? We're good.
Yeah, you look good.
Hey, so we haven't gone through our we do it every segment about this day in history. I'm not going to do them all right now, but we'll just do a couple. So in 1910, the Boy Scouts kind of what? Oh, in 1910 the Boy Scouts started.
1910, the Boy Scouts started.
Yeah, and now it's
Now
it's the whatever you think you are Scouts.
Now, that's one of my favorite comments of all time. Who says it's supposed? That was a Ben Shapiro deal.
Yeah.
Who says it's for boys?
It's in the name, Boy
the
Scouts.
name Boy Scouts.
My favorite Boy Scout moment was on SNL, Canteen Boy, with Alec Baldwin and Adam Sandler. You remember
Yeah,
that?
I vaguely remember that. I'm not a big SNL guy after
Oh God,
Belushi and those guys. Probably
Yeah.
a whole lot.
I like.
You know what? Why don't you quit godding and not worrying about what I'm going to talk about and trust me?
Because it's failed almost every time.
That's not true. That's not true.
So something good for Faja here. He's a big Michigan fan. Big Ten was formed in 1896 on this day. How about that shit?
That's cool.
yeah,
That's cool.
They've done so much with it since.
What is that? 122 years?
I don't know. Were you around back then? Is that the early years of Faja?
I was not quite around yet.
Yeah, you're getting there.
I'm yeah. What were we talking about today that that was Tony. So I asked when the new Venom movie was going to come out. And he goes April of 2019 and I'm like I'll be 60 then. We'll be right. We'll just be getting back from Costa Rica. I saw some videos. Breck and Carla are in Costa Rica, and I saw some videos of them from the house out to the pool and the lounges and all that stuff.
Yeah, it seems like a
It
pretty
looks
nice
like
place
it
to
could
be.
work. It looks like it could work.
I could deal with it. They have some little monkeys and shit that run up there and they feed them and stuff. It's not, I mean they're wild, but they're I guess they've been trained somehow. Like somebody can feed a squirrel off a tree. I think these monkeys are kind of the same.
You remember that the big show that had Sigourney Weaver, the Planet Earth thing that came out? I mean, it's probably a decade ago now. But anyway, they did
BBC.
maybe, but they did a second one. It doesn't have her, but they did specifically urban living wild animals or whatever.
Oh.
And in India, I mean, the monkeys are pretty much just part of the city, just like another human being almost. I mean, they're not afraid of anybody, or they feed each other. It's the craziest thing ever.
I could
It is
go some-
funny.
I could go
Speaking
somewhere
of-
with that, but I'm not.
Well, urban living, but there was in Africa there was some baboons that a tribe or something. This guy had killed one of the baboons, and I don't know what they call the baboons.
Pride, probably.
Pride. I wanted to say pride, but the baboons snuck into his place at night.
Slaughtered him.
They pulled his heart out of his chest.
Oh yeah, man, they're brutal.
Not you know whatting around.
No, absolutely.
No NFA.
Here's a good thing to look up, even for all the viewers, just to kind of put it in perspective. Like, let's just use chimps as an example. Look, Google shaved chimp, and look at the definition they have. Man, they're all muscle. It's the craziest, scariest looking thing in the world.
Kind of like myself.
Exactly.
I've been working out a lot, so I've kind
Except
of.
they're not daring enough to wear a fanny pack. Only
That's
difference.
fascinating, Chad.
I've never grown any chest hairs or anything like that, so I probably look like the.
What are you, part Indian?
The shaved
I don't
chimp.
know, man. I've never figured it out. Like, I don't think my dad's got like a Magnum PI patch, or my brother either, man. I don't know what happened. I need to.
Oh,
do
I
that.
know who's watching in San Diego.
Let's do that.
That was my first trip to New Orleans. Speaking of San Diego.
I need to do the Ancestry.com thing. I bet I'm part Indian. I could get some money out of this shit. I could go scalp some people and maybe up my percentage of the take.
Why don't you
We
then?
got to get some better knives at the house.
We've got good knives, actually.
They are good, man.
We got good knives.
Dude, we ate those steaks today like it was nobody's business.
24 ounce ribeye before I came here to get on the air.
Daddy can cook a steak, by the way.
Yeah, you can. I'm not going to call you whatever you said.
Say
though.
it.
Nope.
Please.
Not saying it. Roll Tide.
It was good though. So I'm not giving cooking tips, but I can kind of get down in the kitchen. But if I'm gonna not grill a steak, I'm gonna pan sear. I use popcorn butter, and it is fire. It's awesome. So if anybody at home, if you want to like try something different for a steak, salt, pepper, and popcorn butter, and you're good to go.
No wonder that thing was so good.
Yeah, your heart's gonna love you for it.
That's pretty much what the steakhouses do anyway, really.
They don't have popcorn butter.
Well, it's pretty similar.
I know.
No, they just put butter in lard.
It's,
Whatever, it's good.
It's the either way, it's the liquid butter that comes in the big jar.
You know what's funny is that you made a great comment the other day is that you can recreate a steak at home.
Absolutely.
You can get the best. You can make yourself the best steak ever at home.
Before he delivers this, I want y'all to know I eat like a complete idiot. I eat the worst food all day, every day. So go ahead. Because I actually think about what he's saying all the time. Because I try and recreate dishes anywhere we go. Knock it out.
But you cannot recreate those hamburgers at home.
The McDonald's hamburgers, you cannot recreate that shit. It's impossible.
No.
You don't have enough chemicals.
You
at the
can't
house.
recreate a Big Crack at a Big Mac. Sorry. Sauce? What, Thousand Island?
Is that girl wearing Wayne Brown's jeans?
No, that's all it is, man. It's mayonnaise, ketchup, and sweet relish, which is Thousand Island.
Yeah,
You
Thousand
are
Island.
correct.
Yeah, but everything about their hamburger, it's impossible to recreate at home. Even the bun, you can't go buy that shit. It's good though. I had it today,
They don't. Yeah, they don't ever
DK, yeah.
decay.
and that's fine.
They would last
They're
for.
impervious to nature.
Pickled sausage don't decay either.
Oh,
doesn't
dude, I like
Oh
pickled
my
sausage.
lord! What in the hell was that you gave me at?
Hey, so we go to our buddy Seamus.
No, this is ridiculous.
our buddy Seamus owns Patty O'Leary's, one of our great friends.
It's Seamus.
Okay. Anywho,
It looks like Seamus.
so while we're there, a dish that I like, they don't even serve food, but they have the pickled sausage there, and you take the martini glass, you fill it up with Worcestershire, and you just dip it in it. It's incredible.
What was it? Pickled what?
Pickled sausage.
It was.
Worcestershire sauce.
You know what? It was.
Oh, pickled eggs. I love pickled eggs. I like anything pickled,
If you
man.
cut- if you
Except
take
for
It was
feet.
horrible.
If you take a pickled egg
Yes,
and
it was.
you cut it up and you put it on a cracker and you put Tabasco sauce on it, it's called a Mississippi Oyster. It's unbelievable.
You talk yourself into that shit being good. It was horrible.
Anything that you have to put on a cracker and then douse hot sauce on it can't be that good.
Vienna sausage.
Hey, Luke.
Now their microwave pizza at about 12:35 in the AM is
Yeah,
pretty
you can
darn
slaughter
good.
that stuff.
It's very good.
That's the only place on the beach to get food.
We know Faja is a big connoisseur of corn dogs.
Luke,
that's
I
for sure.
can't talk. I did not eat the corn dogs. Luke,
You
I
ate
can't
the corn
talk right
dogs.
now. Luke, I can't talk right now. Don't call me. I see you on the phone. Don't call me.
Faja
I
likes
can't talk right now.
Yeah, we haven't talked about corn.
I
Don't
love
forget,
corn
guys-
dogs. I did not eat the corn dogs.
You did eat the corn dogs, but the hotlines are open.
were-
850-907-7686. Call in. Talk about shaved apes and pickled sausage.
Yeah, that's some pretty
right?
righteous
Hey, so
subjects
look at
right
this. In 1974, the show Good Times aired for the first time.
Dynamite.
You screwed it up, man. I was about to deliver.
Oh,
I was like, you
shit,
know what
my
I thought
bad.
about that show? It was dynamite.
Because Jimmy Walker looks just like Chad, only with
It was just
I
as
do
funny
not
as it
have
would
those
have been.
tan.
lips. I do not have those lips. I
tan.
mean, we're kind of built the same. We're kind of eccentric, but I do not look like.
you. Both have those thick thighs and
You
calves.
look like you ran the 100-yard dash in a 90-yard gym, and it just.
Did
Are
anybody
those
else,
your legs, or are you riding a chicken?
Did anybody else watch Coming to America just waiting for the dad to get really pissed off?
Oh yeah, he was awesome.
He was the
angry-
dad in Good
he
Times,
was
right?
angry in Good Times. But he was super happy in Coming
Isn't
to
he
America.
dead? Isn't he dead?
Yeah,
In the show, he was dead. He had a heart attack because he was angry.
yeah.
Is he really dead though?
I'd be mad at that too if I had to.
No, I think that guy's still alive.
What is it? What's his name?
John Amos. Amos. I get the M's and N's mixed up.
You know, Egyptians back in the day used to sleep on pillows made out of stone. That
Pillows made out of
I'm
stone.
trying to help you guys in case you're ever on Jeopardy or some shit, and they ask you this stuff.
Hey, by the way, how many of those? What are those 6 languages that you Googled that Kobe speaks?
French, Italian, Mexican,
Mexican.
French,
Spanish.
Italian, Mexican,
and American.
and American.
That Mexican language.
English.
French, Italian, Mexican, and English. So what are the other two? The other two that make up the 6?
Well, there's different dialects of the American language and the Mexican language.
So is Spanglish one of them?
So how do you put a pillow on a pillowcase on a stone?
He's in his 80s at least, right?
How do you put a pillowcase on a stone?
You, pick-
It's also you got to think about the threading.
you
'cause
lean it
it's-
up on one end.
Like if you're TJ Maxx buying like sheets and shit, and there's like a thread count, and it's always like this Egyptian cotton
Exactly.
bullshit.
Well,
But were they the
best at it.
same
That's why they were
size?
so good at it because they had to hold the
So they
stone.
started the whole thing.
I feel like we're deteriorating right now.
Not at all, man. This shit's awesome. That's a sport, man. They probably took
Best-
those. They
best
put the
conversation
stones
I
in the
remember on this
pillowcase
show.
and beat the shit out of people with them. You ever seen Full Metal Jacket with the bars of soap in the pillowcase?
Blanket
No, but I
party.
saw that in. But I saw the cans of soda in the pillowcase in that Sean Penn and Eli Morales Bad Boys. Remember the original Bad Boys? What
Yes.
was the juvenile detention? Yeah.
They call them blanket parties, and the reason they do it is because it leaves no external signs, but it causes a ton of internal damage.
Yeah, it looks like you're just hematoing everywhere.
And it originally was like it was soap and socks, I believe.
He went to the vending machine and got like 4 cans of pop soda. I'm from Michigan, sorry. And put them in that pillowcase, and that whooping he put on those guys was epic.
That's how my dad used to train
That
me
was
to-
back when I liked Sean Penn.
That's how my dad used to train me to play golf. You know, like
By
Tiger,
beating you with,
Tiger Woods' dad had like his little thing. My dad had his thing too.
By beating you?
A bag of nickels.
We're gonna go see Pops tomorrow for
All right.
lunch.
Yeah, we are. Let's talk about that when we come back. Let's take a little break here. Kenny, can we do that?
Yeah, that's fun.
Little pause for the cause. We'll please pay attention to the Tell Staffing and HR and the Rockies Termite and Pest Control ads that help sponsor the show. We appreciate them, and they take good care of us. So we'll be back in about 5 minutes on Play Harder Radio at the break.
Brought to you by Tell Staffing and HR for your payroll, workers' comp, human resources, benefits, and staffing. also by 5025, Gratitude, Giving, Health, Wealth, and the Fountain of Youth. Play Harder Radio is sponsored by Rocky's Termite and Pest Control, a family tradition since 1962. Rocky's Termite and Pest Control is family owned and operated and serves Escambia, Santa Rosa, and Okaloosa counties. Give them a call today, 850-380-5408.
La Bala La Plata.
All right, guys, we got Nicolas Savino and Jay Side.
What's up?
They got a little reggae collab. You're hearing it right here on the PPK Multiverse Network.
ABK.
Yeah, yeah.
2, ready, go. I've been drifting on this road for too long, searching for my soul. We are one world, one planet, one people, one all. The universe unfolds. Well, life carries on when we ride upon the waves. Life carries on when we ride upon the gravity to the path we find. Ignite your fire, burn righteously. Ignite your fires, burn righteously. Pain or raise your torches, the path you find. Raise your torches to the path you find. And I've been drifting on this road for too long, searching for my soul. The sun is shining down upon this one world, one universe unfolds. Life carries on when you rise above the flame. Oh, when life carries on when we ride upon the gravity to the path you find. Ignite your fire, burn righteously. Ignite your fires, burn righteously. Say, raise your torches, the path you find. Hey, hey. Raise your torches, the path you find. Yeah, what's up?
All right, welcome back. We had a little pause for the cause there, a little music. Kenny, tell us a little bit about that, our musical guest. What we're doing is, I want to say, I'm not the musical aficionado or expert or whatever I was almost going to say, you know what I like to say, but, the indie bands and stuff are not the mainstream, but there's some great music out there, and Kenny happens to have access to it, and so we're kind of turning you guys on to some of that stuff instead of the mainstream stuff on breaks and that type of thing. But who was that?
That was Nikolai Savino and J-Side, both from totally separate projects right here in the Pensacola area. One of them known with his homeboy T from a band called Mad Love, which is, they get a lot of Mad Love in the area. They're a known band. And the other one is a cover band called Mo Giles, which is what J-Side's from. But they're just a couple Pensacola boys doing a reggae project, man. It's really
Crazy
cool.
how big Mo Giles has gotten.
That's awesome.
It is,
yeah,
dude.
man.
And if you get into a band, I mean, people have a career where what they do is they go to casinos and stuff like that, and they get paid to play. Man, it's beautiful.
It's
we
cool.
started Mo Giles at Coyotes years ago. We'd paid them a bar tab, and now they're getting $3,000 a
You
night.
should hear the bands at Carnival Circus.
Carnival Court.
Carnival Court, that's what I said.
Yeah.
You should hear the bands at Carnival Court in Vegas.
Oh yeah. That's Mo
They're
Giles.
money.
It's the same talent level. Those guys are good. Anyways,
Well, cool.
Let's get we haven't talked about any sports yet. We just
Welcome
been
back.
A bunch of nonsense.
I just wanted to say that Gene Moore, is here in town visiting. A friend of Wayne and Terry grew up with Gene, Steve, and he's a Pensacola product living out in Colorado now. But I just bought him a shot and took it over to him. It was Jameson. And he's like, thanks, Jim. And he takes it and we cheers it and do it. And I'm like, that's how a man does a shot with you. Not, what is it? And sniffing it and what is it? Just
What is
do
Rob
the
wearing?
shot. He just has his shirt tucked in. He has on a flannel.
Hey Rob, how was the ranch today?
If somebody you don't know hands you a shot, you should definitely question it.
No, he knows me.
Oh, well,
What
that's
does not know have to do with anything?
That's a different story.
I don't know where you brought that into
You made
it.
it sound like you just.
No,
met
I
him.
didn't.
Hey Rob, how was the ranch today? Good. It's good.
Oh shit. Feral or just feral or ones you were raising? Wild. Yeah, or ones you were raising. I was gonna say one of, but my favorite Ohio State fan showed up, and it just she owns me on a sporting level. It just is just.
It's because you're a Michigan fan. You could be an Ohio State fan and be in her shoes.
I could, but I will never be that.
And then Florida could own you, which is awesome. It's kind of weird.
Instead, we own you.
Exactly.
Florida owns you.
It's
Michigan
weird.
owns you, so
It's kind-
shut up.
it's kind of
I don't
how
even
that-
know why you're
It's
talking.
like a little circle of life thing going on there.
Remember where I said, here's when I said, hey, one of my favorite Ohio State fan is here, Steph. Chad, what do you think about that? No, nobody heard that. Nobody heard that.
It's like I was eavesdropping.
Do you have any more interesting facts
Yes.
for us?
In 1980, a whole bunch of nurses and doctors got fired in Las Vegas for basically creating a Deadpool and betting on when people were going to die.
Why do you get fired for that?
I mean, I guess it's probably frowned upon.
Have you ever watched Deadpool?
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Have you thought about having a Deadpool on the beach?
God, I know there's a bar that we could do that at. I know there's a local establishment, a local bar that we could do that at if we wanted to.
Is it higher than the normal bar?
Commodore Shitty Cars?
Is it Is it on a different level than all the other bars on the beach?
No, it's just not part of the other bars on the beach. It's kind of does its own thing. But you could.
But
really,
I'm saying, is it on a different level,
no, it's,
like altitude?
no, it's on the
level.
same level.
It is.
Yeah. You know somebody really close to you that works there.
Yeah, I think I'm saying that place.
Yeah, we're not allowed to talk about certain bars. It rhymes with maker.
Man Maker.
That's all I could come up with, man.
That was very clever. You know what? You'd probably be a good freestyle rapper.
I'd be awesome.
I bet you would be awesome.
I used to karaoke. Nate Dogg and Warren G.
Has nothing to do with freestyle rapping, karaokeing.
Kind of.
No, reading words off the screen is not the same as making
don't
up
read 'em, I
words.
remember them.
Who would beatbox for you? That's what I want to know.
Luke. Yeah, JJ Walker.
Dynamite. Too funny.
So, what was this like when you're in New Orleans? What was the Super Bowl crowd like? Was anybody really pulling for anybody? Did anybody give a shit? or was
Yes,
it-
everybody was definitely pulling for somebody in New Orleans.
I'm saying, was it like
It was very distinct who everybody was pulling for in New Orleans.
all Patriots fans?
No,
Really?
all Eagles fans.
That's crazy.
It was all haters. For instance, the people that Dan and I were sitting next to, I want to say Rob and Fallon, they were from Pittsburgh. So obviously Phillies haters, but they're like, we're from Pennsylvania. We're rooting for the Phillies because we're from Pennsylvania. And then she goes,
The Phillies.
but we'd root for whoever was playing the Patriots.
Gotcha. Yeah, you said the Phillies. Way
Oh,
to-
Phillies.
Wrong sport.
I like baseball a lot. The Eagles. The Eagles. My bad. So yeah, it was, but it was fun. We actually had a really good time.
I bet you did, man. I'm sorry I missed it.
It was, yeah. You didn't need to.
No, I didn't have to. I felt responsible at the end. Like, I felt like I did a good
I
thing.
asked Nate if you could come, and he said no. I mean, go. He said no.
So, the most important thing on our...
Hey Nate, can Steph? Hey Steph, you want to go to Vegas with
Hey,
me and my, New Orleans with me and my brother?
Yeah, that sounds weird.
Yeah, probably not.
That does
Nate's
sound
like,
weird.
hey, let me ask Nate and see
Nate
what
would
he
probably be
thinks.
like, okay, because I can go fish or do some shit.
Yes, go. When I knew he was that excited to get rid of you, then I was like, maybe not. Wouldn't work. Probably get in an argument about football and ruin the whole weekend.
So in 1992, the most important thing that happened on today's date was Right Said Fred came out with I'm Too Sexy, which is kind of my...
Right Side Fred?
No, Right Said Fred. That's the name of the band.
I know. Right Said Fred. That's
Yes.
what I said. I was repeating what you said because I'm not familiar with who the band is.
I'm Too Sexy.
Is that I'm too sexy for my body?
Yeah. Yes.
That song?
Too sexy for his fanny pack.
So I was like one of the first golfers
Where's your
ever.
fanny pack?
You know how like in wrestling they have the entrances? Like
Yes.
nobody's ever done that. I was the first.
You did an
Yes.
entrance when you were an amateur
Yes. High school, middle school.
middle school golfer. You had an
Yeah.
entrance,
White doves coming out the back of me, fireworks going off. They knew what was coming.
just
Spit-
like Prince.
Spitting your water into the air as the fireworks go off.
Stone
I
Cold.
would rub my hands with the powder and toss it up in the air, and I was ready to go.
Nice.
I was ready to shoot at 85.
Did you say, can you smell what Cokewood's got cooking?
We need that as a soundbite.
It is recorded.
I believe it or not, because of CJ from the Underground Pub Show, I plan on getting multiple wrestling, including the Ric Flair woo should be on any soundboard.
Woo!
You don't have a
How's it go, Ron? No, how's it go? 2 claps and a Ric Flair.
You don't have to yell because he's back there. The speakers will.
Woo!
Ooh. And there he goes again. Posh is
Roll
on
Tide.
fire.
Rolex wearing, Mercedes driving.
He's also a Florida
I'm
fan.
sure. I think he was probably pulling for the Patriots.
He's a Florida fan also. He's at a lot of our games.
Yeah, because he's an SEC guy.
I've got a signed title belt, a replica, but it's still signed by him.
I got a signed title belt, a replica.
Yes. Well, dude, you know what the actual title belt would cost?
You're a baller.
Roughly $45, probably. I don't know. No, I really do.
Right?
I have a signed belt by him. I got in Las Vegas. I didn't actually get it in Las Vegas. I bid on it in Las Vegas and got it. I got home and was completely disappointed because I'd done it while I was drunk. But it's pretty
That's
cool.
where you bought that thing?
Yes. Now, it's not the one up at the bar. It's a completely separate one. The one up at the bar was made for me.
Made for you?
Yeah, it says world champion. I won it on eBay.
Don't they all say, yeah, I won it on eBay?
Won it on eBay.
It was made for you. So
Well, some little Chinese
you
kid,
did not commission it.
No, but some little Chinese kid made that for me. It was built for me.
Okay, fair enough. I will not argue that point. Obviously, that is true.
Right?
Because you have it. I'll bet it's the only one in the world as well.
Absolutely. So, like during the game while you're in New Orleans, like it was crazy out here on the beach, man. I thought it would be packed because it was sunny out, 70, and there was nobody on the beach. It wasn't like Funds wasn't really slow. It just wasn't as crazy as it was last year. But man, it was like nobody gave a shit about the NFL out here on the beach.
Because they don't.
Even in downtown, it was slow. So it's kind of crazy. And I was going to wait till Monday to see the excuses on the internet about why the ratings would be lower.
Hannah said it was bad.
Yeah, so I never looked at the ratings on Monday. I should have before the show. That way we could.
Ooh, the Shaker put a story out about the lawsuit.
Actually, the Shaker did not.
I mean, the P&J put a
Correct.
story out about the lawsuit between the Shaker and the Shaka Bar.
which is now at a federal level. I can't really talk about it because I'm involved in it.
But it was not.
if you could get
It did not. It did not.
it did not.
Narcissism went to a whole nother level. with
It
that,
did
man.
not bode well for the plaintiff.
No, not at all. But like I said, I can't talk about it. But if anybody could go to P&J's Facebook site and please read the comments, they're incredible. You could spend roughly an hour going through these, and you'll never not be entertained. But you'll see who who our locals are kind of getting behind.
I saw Flajak going through them pre-show, so I thought you were taking them down. I'm guessing you guys are staying out of this. Is that my take on this?
I'm staying out of it.
I'm with you. I got you.
I'm just saying.
I can't talk about it.
I don't know. So
how I feel about it because I'm involved in it, but
No, but you're not involved in it. Somebody just said, and there's this asshole commenting about it
yeah, so I'm involved in it.
on Facebook.
he
I
made
can't-
himself
I
involved in it.
literally was asked by their lawyer not to speak about it.
That's what he does. He makes himself
Well, yeah.
involved in it.
Yeah, please refrain from your opinion.
Because it's awesome. Yeah, but anyways, so people that didn't know, there was a lawsuit filed by the Sandshaker over trademark infringement to the Shaka Bar, which is completely ludicrous. The state and local levels, your court systems have already ruled in honor of the Shaka Bar, but this is on a federal level now, and man, it's going to end. I can't give my opinion on how it's going to go, but it's really locally with our newspaper, it's showing where people are tired of this shit. So
Two of my favorite comments. I want to give two of my favorite comments. One guy said he was going to open up a margarita bar and call it the Salt Shaker.
great
but he
idea.
didn't think that would work out. And then another guy said he was going to open up an ice cream place that makes those drinks you make out of ice cream and call it the milkshake.
Did you ever hear about
But
the domains that I own?
Thank you.
Anybody know this?
Thank you,
I own
Kenny.
the Bushwhacker.com, the original Bushwhacker.com.
Yes, so what Chad's
love
trying to
that.
say right now is if you would like
I-
to buy the
wanna
Bushwhacker
buy
domain,
those.
it's for sale.
Can I get a little bit of history information from you guys? Since you guys are beach dwellers, you live here, you probably know this better than I do. We know the Sandshaker at one point went through the a lot of
Cocaine.
criminal shit. Right? They were selling their wares that weren't exactly legal out of there at one point.
think-
After they were convicted and all that happened.
I don't want to say that was a shaker deal. I'm saying that's where it was happening.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But however, some people that were owned it, right? Did they not go down in that?
Yeah, but
So,
it's not the same. It's not the same owners now.
Right. That was the question I
Yeah.
have. Are they affiliated with the original owners?
not at all.
That was the only question I had. Thank you, sir.
But anyways,
When I was at the Aaron Rose watching the Super Bowl, what did I text you?
I don't know.
Do you not remember? I sent you one text, I think, during the Super Bowl.
Normally, like when you text me, it pops up and I hit it just so it'll get off the blue dot upstairs where there's an incoming text.
I said, this dude sitting here on the corner of the bar with me is so Kenny.
I missed that.
There's apparently a guy in New Orleans that's your doppelganger.
Oh, dude, I've got tons of doppelgangers.
In
I've had sex with
action,
quite a few of them.
looks and action, and commenting on the game and everything. I'm like, this is so Kenny right now.
That's
This
beautiful.
is Kenny with a few Bud Lights and Rumplemints in.
You know what's crazy? Before we get off the Sandshaker Shocker deal, the owner of the Sandbar is here. Mike Hall.
How is that not involved?
That
Yeah,
sounds,
why isn't he getting sued?
Sandbar. Sandbar.
But anyways, we're glad he's here. His bar is great, Frisky Dolphin, and
One of our
Sandbar.
clients.
Yeah, one of our clients.
One of our clients. Yep. So we got a few more minutes, and then we're going to take a break and come back with our NASCAR segment. Hopefully, the former All-American has his phone charged enough to do the segment.
Before we go to break,
He said he's at 10%.
What we're gonna do is over the weekend we're gonna have a conference call, me and those guys, and we're gonna work some stuff out to make sure that this goes.
you realize they
without a
party on the
hitch.
weekends?
Well, they're just gonna have to find 5 minutes to make this right, or they're gonna sound like shit every week.
They will be. There's no football this weekend, Roll Tide, so he should be available.
But anyways, because these guys aren't going to know a whole lot about this, but on a local level, man, so because we are going to go to this NASCAR bit, and we're going to try and do it every week. I've already picked a driver.
We're not going to try. We are.
Okay, so whatever. But anyways, man, kind of like one of our local legends, he ended up moving here from Texas and had a son that's now one of our great friends, Tommy Rollins. His dad was Shorty. Shorty Rollins won the first race ever at Daytona. It wasn't the Daytona 500. It was a qualifying race. It was in a convertible on the beach. So
at Daytona?
Yeah, so 20 of the 59 cars in that Daytona 500 were convertibles. That seems crazy.
Of course, it was on the beach.
Yes.
What do you do, a freaking hardtop?
That's crazy. Their average speed was 135 miles an hour, which doesn't seem fast, but at that time on the beach,
Average
that's
speed was
crazy.
what?
135.
That's fast, especially on the beach. Yeah, but you know what? What's the average for a race now?
That was my point, Mr. Wizard.
No, I don't think the average is that fast because they take in yellow flag laps and all that stuff. Right. Well, Talladega and Daytona.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Don't worry about it. But anyways, I thought that was pretty crazy. Yeah, and Shorty was also the first driver ever to win Rookie of the Year. That was the first year that NASCAR gave out that award. So that's kind of another local, little piece of
cool.
Sports history.
There's a dude from Mobile that big truck driver over there in the truck series that does well.
Joanna Long's from here too. Yep.
She raced 2 years ago at 500.
Yeah.
We should talk about that during the NASCAR segment.
That's what I was just saying.
Why don't we take a little 5-minute break? We'll come back and jibber jabber a little bit, and then we'll get Mike and Brandon on the line and Stephanie's husband with us and
Nate Dennis, Stephanie's husband.
Nate. That's right, Nate, and
That's awesome.
and do our NASCAR segment. I mean, I'm sorry, the guy. Let me be clear. Let me be fair. The guy that set all this up, Nate Dennis. So let's get that. We'll come back with that.
Stephanie is Nate's wife. You got to get it in line.
We'll be right back on Play Harder Radio.
Brought to you by Tell Staffing and HR for your payroll, workers' comp, human resources, benefits, and staffing. Also by 5025, Gratitude, giving, health, wealth, and the fountain of youth. Play Harder Radio is sponsored by Rocky's Termite and Pest Control, a family tradition since 1962. Rocky's Termite and Pest Control is family owned and operated and serves Escambia, Santa Rosa, and Okaloosa counties. Give them a call today, 850-380-5408.
Life carries
fade to black, I guess, right? Was a little abrupt.
Hey, we're going to get to our NASCAR segment, but
Welcome back.
real quick,
Roll Tide.
this just in. My buddy Brandon Davis has just picked up. So he just fought 2 weeks ago in Boston on the UFC 220 card. Brandon had just agreed to step in on 10 days' notice to fight in the UFC again against Humberto Bandenas. He's a bad dude, man. And that's crazy.
Bandenas is?
Yeah, that's crazy that Brandon's doing this on 10 days' notice, man. So I'm totally stoked to announce that on Play Harder Radio.
Cool.
It's going to
Right
be in
on.
Austin, Texas. Got any friends in Austin?
My brother's there recording right now.
Yeah, I bet your brother's probably not going to go to the UFC event.
Probably not. It's funny. We were talking about him. I was talking about John with Rob Rushing, and he goes, "What's his name?" And I go, "John Grant." He goes, "Oh, there's going to be a million." I'm like, "Just Google it. You'll see who comes up."
Nice.
Yeah, it's huge.
Are we on?
Huge.
Whenever you guys are ready.
All right, so every week we're doing from here on out during the NASCAR season, we're going to be doing a little segment. We've got some guests with us, same as last week. Same
Mike
guys.
Johnson, Brandon Dean, and Nate Dennis.
Nate Dennis is the guy behind us, one of our great friends. Are you good?
They're on.
You guys there?
What's going on, man? Can y'all hear me?
You got it.
Yeah. Can y'all hear it?
We got you.
What's going on, guys? Happy race
it's,
week.
We've got about a week out till we all hit the road and head down to Daytona. And I got to tell you, man, I watched Days of Thunder today. I got my mind right for a little bit of left turning down there in Daytona. I know that Dean and Nate feel about the same way, but I got to tell you, I'm about ready to run through a brick wall. We got our truck tickets in yesterday. I got my new flagpole I bought for the RV and a couple days ago as well. So it's about to be go time, boys.
You know what?
I'm dropping the hammer, Harry.
There's no, you're not. There's more quotable moments in that movie than any other movie.
Almost
I
like
swear.
it better than Top Gun. I think it's very underrated as a sports movie, and even though I think Tom Cruise is a bit of a flake, that's a
It's
fantastic.
Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, that's a fantastic. He's a Yankee.
That old skull hauler, boy. That thing gets you fired up.
They say old Rowdy, old Rowdy Burns was Dale Earnhardt.
Yep.
So it kind of gets you fired up, but I just hate the fact that Cole Trickle had to put Rowdy. They became friends, which I guess wound up being the way it was. And I guess the old Hardy's car is today's Kyle Busch, is the way I look at it.
That's
Right.
That's 100%. That's dude. You're right on the money there. I never even thought about it, but that's the best metaphor, I guess you could say of.
Boy, ain't got the balls to pass me on the outside.
Yeah, it was funny, man.
That's why I don't eat Hardee's anymore.
I don't blame you there, buddy.
Dude, that guy that played him did not get a whole lot. There wasn't too many roles after that because I think once you play a D-bag on TV, or on a movie, it's really hard to get.
Well, the guy that played Rowdy Gaines was all right.
Burns.
Burns, that's what I said. Not the swimmer.
Yeah.
But that Kerry Ells or whatever, the guy that played Cole's stand-in, he
Yeah.
was the douchebag.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He
Oh.
drove the Hardy's car.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other guy ended up his career is still going on, man. He was in Guardians of the Galaxy. He was the bad guy.
Right, yeah.
He's awesome. He's a great actor. I love him, man. Kind of like a poor man's Clint Eastwood.
Hey, before we, that's what I would call him, a poor man's Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
Not
I think so.
not even close.
That's 3.
I didn't say it. Hey, before we get into it, just so you guys know, these two gentlemen, I use the term loosely, that we're talking to, Mike and Brandon, played for Alabama. So let's talk a little National Signing Day yesterday.
There you go.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Yeah, roll tide, man. It was a hell of a day for Bama. It's not their typical number one class, but I think they filled some areas of concern. I think they got some players they could use immediately. Obviously, Patrick Surtain Jr. being the jewel of the class. I think he fits in at corner next year immediately, and I think we got some pieces at some positions we needed help. So it overall, it wasn't a dominating day, but I think that Nick did a good job of filling the spots that we need on the field for 2018 for sure.
Well, it's
Well, it
crazy.
goes back to just like everything else that always happens around Alabama. If you don't have the day that you wanted, then you find something that you can do to alleviate that issue. And I saw today we just approved a $2 million upgrade to our recruiting facility, recruiting lounge and player lounge there at the complex. So we said, okay, y'all got us this time.
Well,
Wait till next year,
I don't
boys.
really think they got you. They might have won. And the way that I look at this, they might have. They're going to have the top-ranked recruiting class. Y'all lost that spot to them, but if you'll look back and go who you currently have, you really didn't need that many players coming out of this recruiting class.
Agreed.
I think you'll see Alabama
Yeah.
probably back on top at number 1 next year, but you really didn't need that many players. And I'm a huge Gator, and we didn't have that many recruits coming in because we just didn't have that many positions to fill. And so I don't want to look at Alabama's class like it was lackluster. It's still a badass class, but Georgia needed those players.
I think that Georgia got a lot of those 5-stars they got. They had 7 5-stars or whatever because those guys realized that Georgia's in the mix now, and there's so much talent stacked up at Alabama that they feel like they're going to have to not wait as long to play. And I feel like that's part of the reason that they had the recruiting class they had, because Alabama is already stacked.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I've had a lot of Georgia people around me that have said, man, Georgia signed a historically good class. Well, looks a lot like Alabama's class did last year. And so I think that if anybody can afford to have a year where they, dip down outside the top 5, I think Bama's the one to be able to do it. And Dean mentioned it. Things are going to change. There's going to be 5 new coaches on staff this year that are young, energetic recruiters. And, I look for a bounce back next year. I think, listen, things are getting difficult in the recruiting world in the SEC. You got Kirby. You got Jimbo Fisher in there now. Jeremy Pruitt's going to be a great recruiter. So Nick's got his work cut out for him. So 2019 is going to be a big deal.
What's crazy about these
And I
classes?
think Saban said it well too yesterday when I heard. He said we weren't trying to sign that actual, top-notch names. I don't know if that's the phrase he put, but he said we were actually signing needs. He said we had needs this year we had to sign, and the defensive backfield was obviously the biggest need, never having lost that many defensive backs in 1 year. And he said that, that took care of that need, and then they just kind of filled in where they needed to along the line. But, Mike said it well, but, the turnover on the coaching staff, I think, played a role. But I think that, when you still come out where we did, all that turnover, we are the defending national champions. And I think it was a pretty good day overall.
There is that.
Well, at
Roll Tide.
the end of the day, a lot of people don't look at it. Though I kind of look at stuff a little bit different. So you have Pruitt at Tennessee. You have Kirby Smart at Georgia now. People don't realize how good of recruiters they were when they were at their other schools. And so they have been talking to those kids for a couple years. So it's easier to get some flips out of that than it was if, let's say, Kirby had been at Georgia for 10 years or Pruitt at Tennessee for 10 years. They had already been talking to those kids. So I think those flips shouldn't look at so bad at, like
I was
Alabama.
surprised to see that flip, though, the Quay Walker flip.
Yeah.
I was surprised to see the flip. But because he wouldn't have hurt to be in, to have him playing linebacker next year.
It was kind of crazy, and this doesn't involve Alabama. It kind of did a little bit. The Copeland, the Copeland guy from Escambia. It was so sad that it made national attention that his mom, wearing the Tennessee toboggan and the Alabama shirt, freak out and leave his press conference when he flips. He was already a Florida commit, but he ends up going to Florida. And to watch her reaction, man, was kind of heartbreaking. And to watch his
Didn't break
reaction,
my heart.
Watch his reaction to that was very sad, man. Because I think he's a good kid. He's got a lot of good rapport in the community. So watching that and it making national news was really kind of. It's why I don't like signing day.
Yeah, I don't blame you. And listen, Quay Walker, as far as he goes, it was what it was. I think you had your ear to the ground like I do, for the last month or so. I think that it was pretty obvious that he wasn't understanding Bama anymore. I think that, a lot of these coaches, when you talk about Dabo, when you talk about Kirby, when you talk about Jeremy Pruitt, they're young. energetic. They can make a friend-type relationship with some of these kids, and Nick Saban just isn't that way. So you had some guys that wanted that relationship. And, as far as Copeland goes, look, I'm sure that he loves his mom, and I'm sure that's just how he is, but it's not how a lot of people in this country are. And so, to see anybody that looks unhappy with your kids, on their best day of their lives, then I think a lot of people are going to have a problem with it.
I think it's a problem with parents making it about themselves instead of the athlete or their child, for crying out loud.
Yeah, what school did she go to?
Escambia.
Hey, real quick before we get into the NASCAR
For 2
stuff,
years.
What was when y'all were being recruited? And obviously, you both played at Bama. Were you going to go? Was there a chance that either one of y'all were going to go to another school, or was Bama this is it, or did y'all? When you got to the signing day, was it a decision day for you guys, or had you already made that decision?
Yeah, I had already made my decision. I was one of those guys. Bama discovered me. Bama was going through a time, obviously under Mike Shula, that they had to reach for some recruits and discover some recruits, and so they kind of discovered me. And shortly after they did that, I started getting attention from LSU and Florida State and a couple other places. But you know what, Bama got to me first, and so there was no question what I was going to do with my commitment. Once I saw that school and the people involved, I was sold, man. I wasn't going anywhere else.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
I'm the same way. I was launched at Alabama, born and raised Alabama football. And when Coach Ronnie Cottrell started recruiting me, I knew that was the end of the line for me. I wasn't there during the times that Mike was. With as much success as Alabama has had, starting with their group. But I still love Alabama, and that's my that'll be my team forever.
There we go.
Cool. Well, listen, man. Let's get into some NASCAR. Chad and I had a little homework in the week off. It had to pick a driver.
I call it condo work.
Condo work. Laying around the condo.
There you go.
Picking a driver. But we had to pick some drivers, and I'm sure you guys have got a few things to talk about leading up to the race. What are we out a week?
We're
10
week
days.
We're leaving Thursday.
Cool.
So we're
a week from today.
A week from today. We'll be
right on.
We'll be
Are y'all going to stay on the infield?
We got one on the infield and we got one at Browns. So
Nice.
We're going to have a golf cart. We've got infield, capabilities to get back and forth with the vehicles, and that's what we're going to do. Just kind of see what we can do and go from there.
You got to get one of those motorcycle coolers, man. You know what I mean? It's like
The
a
cruising cooler.
Oh, dude, that thing is awesome, man.
There's
That's
a really
for
good
any
video of
type
me
of
on
event
YouTube.
like that.
But one of the things I wanted to talk about that Nate brought up to me
That's what we were talking about.
on the break was the Hawkeye system and how they inspect the cars now. That's pretty. 17 cameras inspect these cars now instead of it's not a human inspection anymore. It's a camera inspection. Or a camera inspection via the human or whatever. But
yeah, it's kind of crazy when you. Yeah, it's kind of crazy when you start diving into it. How much different the system is, and it's damn near gotten to where they're so distinct with it. You can just lean on a car, and so it cause it to fail inspection. I think obviously Dean knows a little bit more about that inspection system dating back and how it's changed over the years, but. Listen, I'm all for it. I think that, you have so many guys that are leaning against the rules these days and cutting corners wherever they can. If the car is going to come out the same, then I'm all about that,
Yeah, back in the years past, they had kind of what they call the claw, and basically it was about a 30-point system, and it would have the car would have to touch each of those minute points, and if it was a tenth of an inch out of line, then it wouldn't pass inspection. And obviously that's within the last decade. Years before that, it wasn't near as that advanced. But this Hawkeye deal, from what I've heard about it, is it's all camera, laser, and it goes in there, and it basically, if it's legal, it shows up on the screen as a green color, and if it's not legal, it gives you the exact space on the car, and it shows up red, and they know exactly where they need to go to work on it, and it's going to prevent a lot of these drivers from missing or from deliberately missing inspection. That way they don't have to go out and qualify and put engine hours on their engine and miles, and because that became a big issue the last couple of years with their inspection system.
Explain that to me a little bit more with the. So you're saying that they don't want to go out and put as much time and miles on the engine, and so they would just like intentionally
Right. A lot
fail.
of these races now are what they call right. They're called what they call impound races, and as soon as you finish qualifying, you can't touch your vehicle until the morning of the race. You can't touch it until really the first yellow flag. So a lot of these guys, instead of being in qualifying trim and qualifying setup, they said, well, we're not even going to worry about going out there and practicing and qualifying, things like that. We're going to miss the inspection, get docked, couple $1,000, whatever it may be. And then when we start the race, we'll be in race mode instead of qualifying mode, and we'll make our way to the front within the first 50 laps. And, that pretty much pissed off NASCAR. So they said, okay, we're going to develop this system. And now there's going to be different type of penalties for if they do miss inspection, because it has become so streamlined, so easy for them to make inspection now with this new Hawkeye.
Do you think this new system can push out some of maybe the politics that the inspections can incur, like just like lobbyists in our government, when money makes stuff happen, or makes stuff happen. And I'm not saying that the inspectors were ever dirty, but I'm sure at some point it could have made a race go a certain way or a driver fall out. Do you think this will deter some of that?
Listen, I think they're dirty as hell. I'll go ahead and tell you straight up. I think they're dirty. I think that there's money involved. You're not going to dock some of the bigger owners. You're not going to dock some of the bigger teams. I think that, and you mentioned it's just like government. You talk about, you have different ways of moving about things. And I think, in any sport, you're going to try to find a way to kind of curve the rules and do whatever you can to try to get an edge. I think that's, one of the great things about having different developers, different drivers, different teams in NASCAR right now. But these guys are going to fudge the system however they can. And so I think that, however they have to do it, whether it's, a money bag sitting under one of the inspectors or something else, I think that's the road they're going to go down.
I think this way they're trying to take some of the human element out of it. So maybe in the future it'll level out the playing field as much as it can. So when y'all get down there Thursday, how is this all going to go down? Are y'all going to party, or is this just getting everything set up for the weekend? What's going to happen, Nate?
Well, I'll tell you what. We're going down there Thursday, get everything set up. It's kind of going to be real early Friday morning before we really set camp. But we usually get down there and it's kind of party mode central as soon as we get there. But this year we're going to go over to the damn museum. We're going to go over to the museum and have a little walk around, look at some of these old cars that crossed the checker, and see a few things that we might not have seen before. Kind of how we're going to start things off, and then it's probably going to get pretty nasty from there.
Cool. You're going to be able to do that? Are you guys going to be able to call in on Thursday night?
Absolutely.
Right on.
They're going to be hammered.
That's going to be awesome.
Absolutely.
Shit,
Yeah, we'll call in from 75 South.
My man, that's awesome.
So let's get to the we had to pick drivers. You two recap us on who your drivers are.
We didn't ask you, Ron.
Yeah, mine is number 78, Martin Truex Jr., the Bass Pro Furniture Road Car.
God, there's
Mine's
nothing.
the number 9 Chevrolet Chase Elliott Napa Auto Parts, and predominantly the Hooters car. Going to get that first win next Sunday.
I'm rolling. I got the Austin Dillon number 3.
Nice.
Got some big shoes to fill over there. That's
number 3 is huge.
Well, a lot of people think, hey, this boy's got the golden spoon. Just give him the keys and let him go. But I don't know. I look a little deeper into it, and I think this kid could be something great. It's going to take a little time, and he got his first victory last year. It wasn't the exact victory I was hoping for, but I think he's got some big shoes to fill, but I think he can make it happen.
So I'm a bow tie guy, and I'm going through the guys, and I've always kind of liked the guy that I'm going to choose, and I was thinking about a couple of others, but and I'm like, I know these guys are just going to give me shit nonstop.
Jeff Gordon is not available.
But I'm going with Jimmy Johnson because
great pick.
Because he finished 10th last year,
Yankee,
and he finished first the year before, and he finished 10th the year before that. So I'm saying this year's his year again to win it.
I went ahead and
Yeah, I think that's fine. I think that. Listen, I don't want to cut you off, but
No,
I'm
you're
going to
good.
get my 2 cents on the Jimmy Johnson pick right quick. Problem for Jimmy Johnson is you got about 2 years till you're picking another driver. His prime is right behind him. Ford has passed him by. I love him. I think he's historic. I think he's been a good face in NASCAR, but his best years are in the rear view. So it's a good pick for this year. He might steal some wins away, but I don't know if he's got a title in front of him.
I'll tell you what, Jimmy Johnson reminds me of the New England Patriots. I think, that run's about over with. There's been 2 7-time champions. And then here comes Jimmy, and he ties it up. And I think that I don't think there's going to be an 8-timer. And I think, Jimmy's going to provide you a few highlights throughout the year. But it's better than picking Jamie McMurray. That's for sure.
God bless. I went ahead.
But I don't think you're going to get a whole lot out of it in the long run.
I went ahead and went with Chase Elliott too. And it's crazy because I haven't been watching NASCAR a whole lot, but like I said, if we're going to get in this, you gotta own it. You got to do everything. So I researched drivers, and I was a huge senior fan, and I initially was a big junior fan, not towards the latter years where it was almost like he was a marketing puppet.
Terrible.
Yeah, terrible. But I really like what he's doing. I like that he's going back to his dad's number. And he's a young kid with a lot of spunk, man. And when he's already got beefs, but he's likable. He's not this D-bag that has beefs like Kyle Busch. He's a likable guy that Senior was kind of like just a hard ass. He was very likable, but he had beefs almost like in wrestling or any other sport. And he maintained them throughout a career. It wasn't just like this one and done thing. So I'm going to go with Chase Elliott because I think he's going to be a superstar. He hasn't won yet. I don't know that he wins the 500. I hope he does. But I think he definitely gets his first, maybe two.
Probably Jimmy Johnson's going to win the 500.
Yeah, but I think Chase is definitely going to get his.
Junior, fellas, I hate to say that.
He's got a good shot.
Yeah,
Truex had that opportunity 2 years ago and let Denny Hamlin take it from right there at the start line. And we listened on that radio, and he said, "Well, this is a good run, boys."
Chase Elliott ran out of gas last year at the 500.
Correct.
So you know what? He had his chance too, and he just ran out of gas right there. At the
Well, we're not going to see that type of racing this year. I can guarantee you that. That tandem racing they did last year, manufacturing, fitting, and all that stuff. It's going to be they're going.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward to it, and we've already talked to the bar here, and we've got a little NASCAR pool that goes on every Sunday here at the Bright Beach Bar.
I gotta go buy new NASCAR shit. All my stuff's Budweiser number 8
we talked
stuff.
about
That's
that.
how old it is.
We all just got our new shirts in, so we're ready.
We talked about that last week. We said pick a driver, go get some gear, and let's do this shit.
Yeah. Dude, when I get gear, I look like I just showered in that shit.
Just so you guys know, we did lose them.
Oh, we lost them. All right, guys.
Yep, Brandon did just send me a text. Damn, that must be that Mike's phone ran out.
Oh, yeah, that's possible.
Is he on Boost Mobile?
He was saying his battery was low, so that's.
He's probably out and about tonight. He just.
I'll put that on me. That was the
quick
producer's
note,
fault. That was my
He
fault.
just got engaged over the weekend.
Who did?
Mike Johnson. He just got engaged over the weekend. I was actually going to say something at the end. I hate that they broke.
Is that an Auburn girl?
No, Alabama girl. Yeah, Lindsay's her name, and she is one awesome girl. Hey, her driver, Chase Elliott.
There we go. I love her.
Yeah, why doesn't everybody just pick Chase Elliott?
Elliott fan for life.
Yeah.
Everybody
absolutely.
pick Chase Elliott.
Yeah,
Jeez.
that's why I got Austin Dillon.
Oh, my driver's Chase Elliott now, too.
I didn't even realize
changing.
when I picked it because of the stories.
I told you.
I didn't know that that was one of their drivers. So.
I told you.
But anyways, so while we're on this NASCAR moment, it's not embarrassing for me, but it happened in I want to say 2004. We were in Talladega and.
Were you driving?
No, very mischievous at that time. I was not in a good place.
You're a piece of shit.
I was a piece of shit. But anyways, we're at Talladega.
Nothing's changed.
My buddy Eric worked for Penske. Not Penske, that motorsport Penske. He worked for the rental. So we had a big rental van. We're sitting inside turn 2. The race is over. Everything's done. Everybody's gone. And we get in that van and we just start driving around. Well, all of a sudden the security guard starts waving us, and we drive through. And there's probably 4 or 5 guys in the back, our friends, and they let us through into the garage. There's one car left, and I cannot say the name of the guy's car. I think the statute of limitations is run out on this. I don't know, so I'm going to be very careful. But anyways, there was a car in there, and we had a few too many beers. Just probably way too many.
I think I've seen the picture.
And you've seen the pictures. Well, anyways, I can't fit in the driver's seat because I'm a little bit too tall. And so my buddy, his name is X. Dan. He gets in, so we're going to try and start this thing. Well, luckily, the hood had a lock on it.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. So we had taken the tarp off. We tried to get it started. Never happened. Never got it started. Great, fantastic pictures, though. But anyways, the cops and the security start coming. I'm not a thief at all. Not going to just steal something to steal it.
Accept that.
But at that moment, with that many beers, I was like, I want to take a piece of memorabilia. So you could have taken a hat or a shirt or whatever. I took the tarp.
She gone.
I didn't realize those tarps are like $6,000, $7,000,
really? I had
somewhere
no idea
in there.
About that.
Yeah.
Why are they that much?
They're so it's not like those Rain-X tarps you throw over your car that weigh maybe 3 or 4 pounds. These things, it was probably 50 pounds. I don't know why it's so heavy, but it's obviously waterproof.
Yeah.
But anyways, we woke up the next day and I opened up the van and there that tarp was.
Where is it now?
I don't know where it is now.
Liar.
I left it alone. But the funny part about it was we'd go to Waffle House. There's a Waffle House right outside of Talladega. And when we pulled in, we tarped my car.
Nice. Well, I'll tell you what, Dean's got a story. Hopefully we'll share it next week. He's got a little story about Talladega himself, and it's a doozy. It's probably one of the best stories I've ever heard of an individual getting away with and not going to jail. So we'll leave it at that. Be a great one for next week.
Last story, make it quick. We had a buddy with us. Looked just like Kenny Chesney. I didn't really realize it until he was getting asked for autographs. But instead of saying that he wasn't Kenny Chesney, we made him Kenny Chesney that week, and he signed I don't know how many autographs. It was awesome.
That's a Roll Tide moment there.
It's a Roll Tide moment.
Listen, Nate, thank you. Brandon and Mike, thank you. Hope you guys are listening. We got to get them sharing that on social media and stuff too.
Yeah, I was hoping to talk about that a little bit tonight.
Yeah,
but,
just so you know,
we're
going to have a production meeting this weekend with those guys to get some things straight to make sure everything's ironed out between all of us.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nate, again, thank you.
Yes, sir.
We're going to take about a 5-minute break, and then we're going to come back and do our last segment here on Play Harder Radio. We are out here at the Break Beach Bar on Pensacola Beach. Come out here. I don't know how much time. We got about a half hour left of 55-cent wings. We are sponsored by Tell Staffing and HR and Rocky's Termite and Pest Control. So we will be right back.
Brought to you by Tell Staffing and HR for your payroll, workers' comp, human resources, benefits, and staffing. Also by 5025, gratitude, giving, health, wealth, and the fountain of youth. Play Harder Radio is sponsored by Rocky's Termite and Pest Control, a family tradition since 1962. Rocky's Termite and Pest Control is family owned and operated and serves the Escambia, Santa Rosa, and Okaloosa counties. Give them a call today, 850-380-5408.
La Bala La Plata.
All right, guys, we got Nikolai Savino and Jay Side.
What's up?
They got a little reggae collab. You're hearing it right here on the PPK Multiverse Network.
PPK.
Yeah.
2, ready, go. La Plata.
All right, guys, we got Nikolai Savino on Jay's side.
What's up?
All of my sins that I see here, only knowing the open air, space consisting of nothing much but hardened hearts and concrete. So keep digging and deep. Roots searching for substance, yearning to thrive after being sold in abundance. So if you're feeling short as you begin to stretch out, remember what you're looking for is inside yourself. But you're feeling dry, yeah, you're feeling dry out now. So don't give in. I know it's easier to roll over and just pretend like you found yourself and learned to coalesce in this overly redundant mess. It's a wish I hope comes true. For service and salvation, we'll donate time and tax. If we put enough hours, hopefully we will get some back. I must be confused about the nature of these contracts. The irony and liberty implementing laws, not rights. We're feeling betrayed. These are guises to undermine and enslave. So don't give in.
Hey, gonna bring it back in here. Finish this thing out. That was a good segment with Mike and Brandon and Nate.
Yeah, they were good, man. I love those guys.
Yeah, they got a good chemistry together. Nate has a good chemistry with him. So I'm excited for next week when they're down in Daytona.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be awesome. I can't wait for them to call in. And like I said, I kind of hope they have some beers. So just, let's.
I kind of absolutely hope they have some beers.
Right? I don't
Know
like
what I mean?
I don't like people calling in at events like that and then being crisp. Because I think you're not living in the moment.
The power of now.
Yes.
The power of now.
Hey, speaking of power now, if we'll look back, God, I'm sorry that I got that back.
What was that? Lord.
I got that back in the face now, so we're good. So the new trend is.
Hey, not to cut you off. Sorry about that. Just real quick, just to let you know, because we are experiencing network issues, I've taken the hotline down.
Good deal.
You know what I mean?
Give us a little more bandwidth.
Absolutely.
Bam.
And the other thing is, we do apologize for the network issues. We are trying to iron those out. We're going to replay this show. We're going to re-air it live tomorrow night on Facebook, so you guys will get a chance to check it out and see it the way that it was actually meant to be seen. Once again, we all apologize.
Good deal, man.
Thank you, Kenny. Thank you, brother.
Anyways, so when I go to wash clothes, I love washing clothes. It's one of my things. I do about a load every 2 days. I use a Tide Pod, and that's how they're supposed to be used. But apparently there's this new thing where you take that little thing and you bite in it, and whatever juice is in that shit gets you high. Have you ever done that?
No. A Tide Pod?
Yeah. In your party days at college, did you not take a Tide Pod?
No.
I never took a Tide Pod.
CO2 canisters.
But what dumb shit? What dumb shit is like one day is like I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna bite in that thing and see if I can get high.
So listen to this though, and you make a great point, but other people don't look at it as in the same manner that obviously you and I do, because New York State legislators are lobbying Tide. I mean, they're having news conferences with people nodding their heads in the background about Tide making their detergent pods look too much like candy.
Nothing about that looks. There is a candy out there. It wasn't a candy. It's like like the fruit snacks. I was a big.
Is the plastic wrap around it not a? I mean, is the?
Let me get through this. So when I was growing up, I was a big fruit roll-up fan, and then they came out with the fruit snacks. So you open this thing, and there's a bunch of little snacks in there that taste like fruit. Well, they came out with one called Gushers, and it was a fruit snack that had like some jelly shit in the middle, and it was awesome. But they were messy. Like
I know what they were. They were like gum with a
the Gusher
jizz center.
Gusher center, whatever. And they were awesome, except you put them in your lunch bag, and by the time you got to enjoy them, they had already been like smashed so many times that it was just a mess.
So there was jizz all over. Gush all over.
Awesome. Yeah, you're doing really good tonight. So what part of this looks like it's edible?
Nothing. Because they do sell candy in a big plastic tub that says laundry detergent on it.
Exactly. It's not like it's in the candy aisle. It's nowhere near the candy aisle.
It's still mind-boggling to me that legislators are trying to legislate this thing.
Are they Republican? Because I bet they're not.
They are not.
Exactly. But it's funny. So you're going through and you're reading about these kids doing this shit, and like there's some other trends going on. So if you take the Imodium pill, like it comes in like a 24-pack. If you take 12 of them, it has the same effects as heroin does.
Nuh-uh.
Absolutely. Dude, I've been researching this shit so we can get this show together.
12 Imodiums?
Yes, it has the
12 Imodiums have the same effect as how much heroin?
I don't know. I've never really been in the heroin game.
How much of the black
Sold.
tar?
Huh?
I said sold.
Right. But
I'd be full.
But where I'm getting with all this, who tries this shit? Like, I get that the dude tried the oyster for the first time. I get that. I get that the guy tried the pecan for the first time because that doesn't look appetizing at all until you eat one of them little.
Especially if you accidentally eat that little bit of stuff around the
Oh,
shell.
it's brutal.
Bitter and
That will
nasty.
ruin you.
Ah.
The little stuff around the pecan shell that's sour.
Oh, that's the
done.
nastiest stuff ever, man.
My granddad had a big pecan tree, man, and that was our thing, dude.
Oh, yeah.
But every once in a while, one wasn't cracked good or it wasn't shelled properly and it had that thing in it, and you would eat it and you would be ruined. You were done. But my point is like, how is this happening? I get that you can make some meth out of Benadryl and shit. Okay, whatever. But you're
Fatherless homes.
I would rather the survival of the fittest thing happen. Let's get put the food stamps all over these Tide Pods. Give all this shit away.
If you think about it, it's the natural evolution, man.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know that too, but that's not where I was going with that. But
I'm not a
agree with that as
humanitarian,
well.
man. I'd like for our population to fucking knock itself out.
I am not a humanitarian.
Like Carlin said, let Darwinism take over.
Exactly.
The kid that eats the most marbles doesn't live to reproduce.
Let's hand this stuff out in schools.
My point is that all of it was trial and error. I mean, they found out they could smoke weed and get high, right? I mean, it happened thousands and thousands of years ago.
Yeah, but
somebody
there's
had to
still
do it.
there's still, when you're talking about marijuana or whatever, people have been wrapping shit up and smoking it for centuries.
Absolutely. That's
So that's a little different than, hey, I wonder if I can get off on laundry detergent and live.
Nah, but it's like mushrooms. There's some out there that'll make you trip, and there's some out there that'll just kill you on the spot. Somebody had to do trial and error on that before science.
Who trial and errored the K-tonic?
I don't know. Who trial and errored the Robotessin or whatever? You know,
Little
the
Wayne.
Robo-ween.
Probably Little Wayne.
No, it was way before him because I'm older than that guy.
What's one thing that
I'm still trying to get my son. He's 2.
I stuck a bar of soap in my mouth in the shower when I was about 4 years old. Not high at all.
Jared is
never got high.
I have a
27
soap story from when I'm younger, but we can't talk about it on the show.
2 years, 3 months clean and sober.
Yes.
Nice.
And he's 34 years old now, and he's 2 years, 3 months clean and sober. He's doing fabulous. And but back when he was 17 or 18, he disappeared for 2 weeks, and he was holed up somewhere doing heroin.
Oh.
And I was talking to him in that era, and he pretty much kicked heroin on his own, basically because I kept him with me for 30 days, day and night. I took him to work with me like he was a dog.
No, it's nasty stuff, man.
You know, but I asked
it's
him
great.
during that time, I said, what drugs have you done, dude? I mean, like, why did you smoke? He goes, well, it started with stealing my stepmom's cigarettes when I was 12 years old, and I got a little buzz off of that, and then I wanted a little bit more of a buzz, so I smoked some weed, and then I wanted a little bit more. And I said, so what all drugs have you done? And he goes, you name it.
Are you
I've
promulgating
probably
the
done
gateway
it.
theory?
What's that?
Do you believe so? Essentially, what I'm hearing from you, I'm not trying to have a debate. I literally want to know. So you believe in the gateway theory?
I mean, I'm not saying I didn't think about it in the gateway theory, but that leans to be a.
Nobody starts with the hard stuff. Just
Right.
about. I mean, there might be
Right.
some people out there.
Oh, I'm
that-
going to do acid to start.
What if
Oh,
you
well,
started
that's
with the
kinda what I
hard stuff
did.
and worked your way down to cigarettes?
I tell you what.
But so
You think it's ever happened?
that does. I'm not saying I believe in the gateway. I guess I do, but that supports the gateway theory, does it not?
No.
Because he was totally out of the. I mean, there couldn't have been any more honest discourse there.
No, I don't disagree with the gateway theory. I believe the what can get me higher, right? Because that's the idea. I don't believe in it as a life-changing thing, like, oh, he smoked weed one time, so now he's addicted to crack. I don't
Agreed.
believe in it like that.
There's still the makeup of the person is still involved.
Yes.
Well, right,
the personal
absolutely.
DNA is still what.
And if you
yeah,
look
it's
at
it's not a gateway drug for me.
But if you look at it
Okay,
statistically,
it's a
people-
gateway drug for him.
No, well, I mean, anything could be. So some people just have addictive personalities, right? And some people don't. That's life.
Yeah. So anywho, we're back on Tide Pods.
It's
Jared's
still the
in
same
awesome
conversation,
shape.
really.
Yeah, his son Jared's in awesome shape now. He's kicking ass, dude. He's looked like he's built out of a brick house.
He's up to 175 now.
Yeah, and he's not a tall dude. So 175 for me would look like I'm
It's about 5'10", probably.
Yeah.
One thing you have to admire is when people kick something like that, how well they take care of themselves afterwards. You know,
Yeah,
because
'cause
that becomes their addiction, which is awesome.
Absolutely, man. Like about
That's his new addiction. Truly,
Yeah,
the
it's
gym. He's like,
beautiful.
I'm like, dude, you got to take some days off. He's like, I can't. I love going. I can't. I'm like, dude, you got to take some days off.
Yeah, you don't want to burn yourself out. But
Did I show you that picture of him from last week or whatever?
Yeah.
The neck.
Yeah.
His neck. I'm like, I'm looking at the back of his head, and I'm like, where's that little skinny ass neck that comes off of that?
I've been getting
that head.
I've been getting in shape.
No, you haven't.
Stop. I've been working out.
Nope.
At 40, it's not working out. It's just pure maintenance. I'm not trying to put on any weight or not trying to get my biceps big for the summer. But I just can't have that dad bod shit going. I know I wear the dad bod fanny pack, but I can't have that real life thing going.
You know what my thing is? I spend so much time doing production in the studio that my muscles are dystrophied. I'm withering, seriously.
Atrophy.
Atrophy.
You said
Thank you.
Dystrophy.
Well, it could. It's,
New
they,
word
They
we
look the
just
same
invented.
eventually, don't they?
Yes.
My bad. But yeah, atrophied.
There's the. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see?
No. From now on, we plan. You send me a picture.
Yeah, I know.
No, they
No,
can't see
No,
that.
you can't see it. Cool.
Yeah.
Send me a
Yeah,
text
he's
or
built.
something. I
Look at
will
the
put
ink,
that on
the new
air.
ink.
Yeah. What is it? Is he Hawaiian?
I know, right? Look at the new ink versus the old ink. He's
Yeah.
like, I got to get that shit touched
I
up.
made some more money right here than I did right here.
I'm guessing he's working on that next sleeve, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Starting from the forearm.
What's
No,
up with
I see
the
it.
choker necklace?
Those are his headphones.
Oh.
Once you get that big, you can wear whatever you
Dumbass.
want, including a fanny pack. You're not big enough to wear a fanny pack, Chad.
No.
This is his new. Yeah, he's.
Well, nobody on.
I don't know how long he's going to live though.
Yeah, but nobody on Facebook can see that. So, well,
Yeah, we're talking amongst ourselves, and I don't need you to fucking Killed my vibe.
There we go. God, we're gonna be millionaires by the time
It's great
I'm done.
conversation, man. Don't undermine what you guys are talking about. It's great conversation. It's real life. It's what people really want to hear.
It is real life.
There's nobody out here listening about this shit.
Maybe not here in the bar, but they're all drinking. There's people out in the internet.
They're all
land
doing
that-
their gateway shit.
But you know what? They're all
That's
here
it.
because we're here.
I
'Cause
stayed
I'm
in
here.
that gateway lasted a long time for me.
Man, I never got into the big drug game. It was weird. My mom passed away like in that in the 19
Impressionable part of your life.
Yes.
Right.
And maybe I was close, or well, you had the peer pressure and all that stuff. But man, you look back at moments that kind of like changed you, and that was one of those.
Well,
like
you could have went either way, but you
and
chose
maybe
the right
if she
road,
would have
maybe.
stayed alive or something like that. And I don't like bringing stuff up like
So
that during
instead,
the show,
you just
but
became an asshole.
Yeah, you know, the
yes,
funny
I
thing-
switched. I didn't do the gateway drug thing. I
I
became
did, and the funny
jerk.
thing is, I never made the right decisions. I got lucky, and I was one of those guys that I'd get burnt out on the bad stuff. You know, like
Yeah.
it's just not even fun anymore, and I'd walk away. I mean, but I tried it all. I dabbled. There's no doubt about that.
Dilly.
It's weird in the bar.
Dilly-dilly.
It's weird in the bar. The bartending game now.
Roll Tide.
When I've been in it 22 years. The earlier years, let's say the first half of it, it was more wrapped up in drugs than anything I'd ever seen
Oh,
in my
dude,
life.
That's the service industry, right?
Yeah, and now you see the trend going down. People are drinking Tito's and water. They're drinking spirits with water.
Oh man, we had
And
this
it's so
conversation
people
the
are
other day.
actually making a conscious
Oh,
decision to
absolutely.
be a little bit more healthy, even when they're doing bad
I
shit.
mean, look how much underage smoking is down, man.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
kids actually realize it's just nasty now. Like, why did I start smoking? You know, I don't smoke anymore. I vape. I ain't gonna lie, which is just douchey maybe. But I started smoking to be cool, and I'll admit that. I remember having a pack of cigarettes and only smoking them when people were around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then eventually, I was just smoking them
That's
all the
funny.
time.
Did you ever smoke cigarettes?
No. I mean, I've screwed around doing it.
Yeah.
But I've never bought a pack to smoke.
Who bought me this? Wayne. Is this
Whoa.
a tie? Is this a?
Oh, he didn't buy me one.
Did
That
you
bitch.
squeeze out a Tide Pod?
It's a
and put
Tide
it in
Pod
the-
shot.
It's Tide Pod.
Wow.
It's the new thing.
What a dick. What a dick Wayne is.
Derek,
dick
thank you for the
Wayne
ice
is.
chip.
You know what we didn't talk about? Oh. Thank you, Derek.
Our
Thank you,
bartender tonight is Derek. He's one of our great friends. He bartends here and at the Islander. It's his first night working our.
Now, awesome, dude. Not as pretty as the usual.
Hey guys,
bartender.
can we give a round of applause for our boy Derek bartending? There's 4 people clapping.
Yeah,
He sucks.
nobody's listening.
He sucks.
Such is life.
What was I going to say? Oh. You know what we haven't talked about? Whoop.
Jeez.
Foster Brooks.
Juice.
Here on
Juice.
Vine.
Juice and
All
corn
right,
dogs.
let's go ahead. Let's knock this out.
The NBA trade deadline was. Did it happen?
Yeah, it's done.
It's done?
Yep.
And Cleveland is restructuring.
Yeah, they're becoming the Browns. Literally.
How can that be when they have, like, the NBA, the Zeus of the NBA?
Arguably the best player in the league.
Yeah, he is the best player in the league.
Arguably.
Who's better? I don't like the guy.
Durant.
I hate him. No, not
I
even
don't
close.
think the talent pool is strong. I don't think the talent pool is watered down enough for it to not be subjective. Honestly,
I think he's good. I think he's if he wanted to. He is. He's the best player in the league to me. He's a complete like floozy jerk, whatever. I can't even come up with a good word. I don't know how to describe him. I don't like him at all. I don't think he's a team player. I don't think he's good for the game.
He's a mental midget.
He's a mental midget, but he is the best player in the game. The most dominant. There's no question. But dude, he just destroys stuff. When he is not happy, he destroys stuff. There's not a chance that the Cleveland GM got up this morning and said, I'm going to make these moves. I'm not even going to ask LeBron. I'm just going to do these. I'm just going to do this. I'm going to do me as the GM. I'm going to just move these players because I need to make LeBron happy. There's not a chance that ever went through that guy's mind. LeBron went.
And threw his fit.
So LeBron knew he's not going to win the championship this year. It's impossible. So why not just sabotage your season, which it's what's happened. So now that he's not going to make the NBA, yeah, he's not going to make the NBA Finals. Not a chance. So now the blame can't go to him for missing the finals. You see what I'm saying?
I see absolutely what you're saying.
Yeah. So
That's hilarious. I didn't even come up with that scenario, and that just even doubles down on what
they weren't going to make it anyways.
On what Kyle Shirley's hero.
They weren't going to make it anyways, and so now he gives them a reason to really not make it. So now he's not to blame. They don't have the team to win the finals. Jordan was never like that. Larry Bird was never like that. Magic Johnson was never like that. LeBron is like that. And so I don't care how many people ever argue.
His boy. They traded his boy back to the Heat.
His homie. I wonder what Dwayne Wade's going to look like in a Heat jersey. I think it's going to.
That should be interesting.
Oh.
That should be interesting.
But I really don't care about that trade, man. I don't think any trades in NBA really mattered or really were going to affect anybody because
Your jokes haven't went over, so I felt like I
the
had to help
Warriors and the Rockets and the Celtics basically have us wrapped. So it's basically going to be the Rockets and the Warriors versus Celtics in the NBA Finals.
I'm not ultra convinced that it'll end up being the Celtics. I mean, I'm like 75% on the Celtics.
Who the Sixers?
Because it's just because I don't know what the NBA is going to do to get LeBron to the finals.
No, it's done. We're good. We're out of that for this year, and this takes the weight off of his shoulders.
Do you remember when Jordan missed the playoffs or the finals once he started going to the finals? Do you remember when he started missing the finals?
That sounded,
I
get what
playing.
you're saying, but that was a ramble of awesome sort. I love it, Kenny.
What?
You remember when he missed the finals after going to the finals?
Remember once he started his finals run?
Yeah, there you go.
He built the team to the level that they could get to the finals. They won 3 in a row. They missed, 2? Because he quit.
Yes.
Because he had to quit because his dad got murdered. And whatever scandals behind that, who knows if there
go play baseball for the
was or whatever.
Right.
Barons.
For the White Sox.
Barons.
White Sox organization.
That Birmingham before they were.
But regardless, Michael Jordan was awesome. He built that core. He built Scottie Pippen. He built those guys to play with him. And then when you had a guy like Craig Hodges go out, you brought in a John Kerr.
When Horace Grant left, one of the great power forwards of the time,
he
left.
put Rodman in a dress. It was beautiful.
Whatever. But
Tony Kukoc.
The centers, Bill Winnington, Bill Cartwright, they kept. He never needed to leave.
Bill Winnington.
Yes, never needed to go
Bill
anywhere.
Winnington.
I pulled that out. I'm like,
Boom.
From where did he go to school?
That just happened.
I don't know.
I believe St. John's.
It was probably St. something. He looks like he would have gone to a St. something.
I believe it was St. John's.
But anywho, I don't really care about the NBA trade, any of that mess.
I know.
It's
it was
over.
just a bash LeBron a few minutes to end the show.
Let me see if I can find one more.
Give me a tidbit of
all right,
something that'll blow my mind.
I like shaking hands with people, and it's nasty in this day and age, especially with the flu, and you don't know who's washed their hands after peeing and all that mess. But I just...
That's where the flavor comes from.
Yes.
Ooh.
But anyways, in ancient times, strangers shook hands to show that they were unarmed.
Nice.
I mean, I never... You know, when they touched goblets, it
Didn't
was
get a lot of handshakes in Philly last weekend.
Makes sense. It makes sense.
I don't. You think they did like the handshakes back in the ancient days? Where like, come here, bring it in, like where you did the, or
why still to this day, people
Yeah.
get a little hostile when you don't shake their hand.
man.
Are you trying to tell me you're?
I get hostile when somebody grabs my fingers halfway in.
Oh, I hate that. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna leave on this, but when you go to shake hands, I don't care if you're a guy or a girl, engage and get all the hand.
Right. And
if you touch
the difference between crushing a hand and what a firm handshake
Yes.
means you mean it.
But
I don't
Crush my
mind if
hand means you
Bobo,
disrespect
Bobo
me.
grabs the end of your fingers. I don't.
Yes.
Ooh.
You know what? I don't
There's
mind,
nothing
and
normal about
I'm
like
not
this.
being misogynistic about it or whatever. But if a woman it gives you the, this deal, this handshake thing, I'm fine with. I don't.
It's a woman.
Yes,
Right.
and I'm not being misogynistic about it.
That's very misogynistic, but go ahead.
It's not.
Okay, it's not.
But anywho,
It's not.
when a dude does it,
Who's that? Huh.
that's Karen.
Right on. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up. Tell Staffing and HR, check them out, give them a call. If you need payroll, HR services, workers' comp, give them a call. If you got bugs, if you got bed bugs, if you got any kind of thing going on critter-wise in your home,
Bed bugs specifically. That's what they. That's
those
their
things are
bread and
nasty.
butter, but
They're
that's their
big
bread
on
and
that
butter,
stuff.
man. If there's anybody in town that can get rid of them, it's Rocky's Termite and Pest Control.
Rocky's Termite and Pest Control. So I want to thank again the Break Beach Bar for having us, as they do every Thursday night. I want to thank Derek for bartending tonight. Remember your bartenders and your
Derek's a rock star.
They don't have any servers here, so remember your bartenders and tip them out fat. I mean fat. Not 20%, you cheap ass.
That's what you tip. Ron Green's in the house.
Roll Tide.
Thank you.
So anyway, you guys,
Frank, you owe me money.
Thank you. Have a great week. We'll see you next Thursday on Play Harder Radio.